so much for being here, for being patient. My name is Yeiry Guevara. I am the Public Programs Manager here at the Museum of Fine Art. So thank you so much. Give yourselves a round of applause for being here on a Friday night. Yes, awesome, excellent. Again, thank you so much for being here. Just want to give a couple shout outs. A big shout out to Valeria, our production assistant tonight, and Adam, our AV team, and Brandon, and Mike, our another AV team as well. You'll see them around here tonight. And without them and our talent and our partnerships, this would not be possible. So thank you so much to our partners for being here. Want to give a good shout out to Tony Diaz, Nuestra Palabra. He'll give a couple of notes when he arrives. I will pass on the mic to Quang for public poetry to give you a couple of words about this partnership.
Salutations, lovely people. You must forgive the excitement. I had a coffee at the cafe earlier. So I'm Quang, the Executive Director of Public Poetry, and of course I'm very proud to be at the last installment of the Summer Writers Remix Series in partnership with both the MFAH and Nuestra Palabra, founded by the dynamic El Libro Traficante, Tony Diaz himself. Permit me also to say saludo a mis hermanos y hermanas poetas en solidaridad con todos los que buscan la justicia y la verdad. Our gratitude always to Yeiry, to the public program staff, as well as the featured readers this evening. If you enjoy programs like these, please consider supporting the MFAH, Public Poetry, Nuestra Palabra, with a one-time or a sustaining donation and empowering our respective works in the arts and literary communities. And of course, always tag us in your stories. That helps too. So enjoy your evening, and thank you all for being here.
All right, I will do a couple of notes here, a couple plugins about what we have coming up. Public Poetry, we oversee everything that is free and open to the public here at the museum. We have 2 special exhibitions on view at the moment. Obviously, this exhibition you're sitting in, and I'll tell you a little bit more about it. And then we also have Hugh Locke Passages. It is a retrospective of the artist. And we do have some programming coming up in support of that show. We have a steel drum band coming in. We have Tropical Steel Pan on August 21st. So it'll be really cool to hear some Caribbean sounds here at the museum. And then we will also have the artist himself coming on September 2nd. Tickets are available on their website. They just launched yesterday. So if you want to hear from the artist directly and from our curator, Brittany Webb, that will be on September 2nd. Grab your tickets. It will sell out. I guarantee it. So if you want to see a show, see him. That's all on our website. We also have meditation with the Black Man Project on August 23rd. That is on our rooftop. It's a beautiful view. We also have bilingual yoga that same day, right after meditation, so you can get your, calm and presence on for August 23rd, that Sunday. So a little bit more about the series. The Writers Remix Series is an interactive program to experience the museum's collection in a powerful new way through the written word. This series amplifies local, emerging, established, published, unpublished, working writers who are holding it down in the vibrant literary scene here in Houston. This program merges the visual arts and the literary arts in a profound and refreshing way. If you like what you see tonight, again, please let us know, tag us, let me and my team know, praise the writers, laugh. This is definitely an interactive experience. And this is a final one for the summer, but like I said, we have a lot of programming coming up for the fall and a lot of interesting things. So I'll tell you a little bit more about the exhibition. Highlighting the careers of Pablo Picasso and Paul Klee, as well as Henry Matisse, signature cutouts. Alberto Giacometti next door, or with the haunting sculptures, and the works of George Breaks and Paul Cézanne. This exhibition explores a relationship of famed gallerist and collector Heinz Berggruen and the artistic community of post-war Paris and beyond. Assembled thematically, the collection reflects an intimate and personal approach to the European avant-garde that shines new light on titans of the 20th century art world. So what to expect tonight, now that we have this great introduction to the exhibition? All performances will be taking place in this gallery, all intuitives every poet, and feel free to make noise, interact, applause, let them know if you enjoyed things. And then afterwards, you're welcome to view the show, view the other exhibitions. The museum closes until 9 p.m., so feel free to mingle as well. And without further ado, I'm so proud to present our first presenter, Delfina Cardona. They are an artist, writer, book cover designer from San Antonio, Texas. She is the author of What Remains, winner of the The Past is a Jean Jacket with Hub City Press, winner of the Naomi Shihab Nye First Book of Poetry Award. Their poetry can be found in The Offing, The Prairie Schooner, The Boiler, The Los Angeles Review, and more. She is a co-founder of Infrarrealistas Review, a literary nonprofit that publishes Texan voices. Cardona currently works as an associate for Letras Latinas and moonlights as DJ Mexistentialism. With that, give a warm round of applause to Cloud.
Thank you all for being here. This is such a cool space, and thank you to Yeiry and the MFAH for this incredible program for public poetry, Nuestra, Palabra. This is just a dream come true to be in a museum like this and being able to share poetry amongst friends, and and be in Houston, one of my favorite cities ever. Thinking about kind of ekphrastic writing and being inspired, I'm of the belief that we all have obsessions, and that's what drives our poetry. And a theme you'll see, I think, in my work tonight is repetition and lists. So if I leave y'all with anything, I hope that it's to feel inspired to write a list. You know, we write lists all the time, right? Like a to-do list, grocery list. And one of my favorite forms in poetry is a list, right? It's just like writing down each thing one by one. So we're gonna go into it. This is a new poem called On the State's Tongue. Before I laid flat on my back at the tattoo shop and heard Stars by Hum for the first time, 19 years after its release. Before my mother discovers Paloma Picasso is her signature scent. Before my father finds solace in the encyclopedia's delicate pages at the Alice Public Library. Before Clint smokes weed out of a Gatorade bottle, while Sophia plays Death of a Disco Dancer by the Smiths on her iPhone. Before my tia moved out of the empty house on West Summit Avenue, where we lit everyone's birthday candles. Before I was assigned to spreading masa against the husk. There was Porvenir, a town in West Texas where Texan Rangers, local ranchers, and US soldiers murdered 15 Mexican-American men and boys in the middle of the night. A retaliation after the killings at Bright Ranch on Christmas Day, 1917. They looked at their nice shoes and thought them bandits, just enough to justify their murder to their bosses. After the massacre, Manuel Morales' sixth child was born that night. After the massacre, Juan Flores waited 80 years to tell his family how he bore witness to his father's murder that night. After the massacre, Captain J.M. Fox reported that his men unfortunately had to kill any number of Mexican bandits. After the massacre, none of the Rangers were found guilty. After the massacre, 140 residents fled Porvenir for good. After the massacre, these widows fell in love with men and women. After the massacre, these Rangers were let go and then rehired. After the massacre, these widows never fell in love again. After the massacre, the children of survivors danced. After the massacre, the children of survivors harmed themselves. After the massacre, the children of the children of the children of the Porvenir survivors run along the aisles of the Texas State Capitol on the 100th anniversary of the massacre. After the massacre, we will never cease to remind you of what happened that night. After the massacre, we find new reasons to keep going. After the massacre, we know that Texas is forever haunted, just like the rest of this goddamn country. Thank you. I know that's a heavy place to start, but I think considering the room we're in and the art and what was going on at that time, right, it feels in conversation. So let's go a little lighter. Is anyone familiar with La Lechuza, the myth of La Lechuza? Yeah. Okay, if you don't know, she takes the form of an owl, right? It's a Mexican folklore myth of, a witch that comes in the form of the owl, at least how I know her. So this is La Lechuza at Woodlawn Lake Park. How can I say it other than this? I am no worse than you. I do what I need for survival. I watch families from tree branches half as ancient as I am. Bad Bunny's voice swirls through the air while an ice cream truck makes itself known. A child at the picnic table looks up at me and knows there are bad things to come. I leave before his Diaz flock to wrap their arms around him. The women always know how to get rid of me. Their birthday party blurs below. Everyone you love will die. A storm will destroy your home. What use are my omens? My life is wasted on telling you what you have already imagined. This is when I hear I am my ancestors' wildest dream. I pray to a closeted lesbian in northern Mexico, married with daughters she loved. She felt the happiest in the afternoons with her sisters and comadres, thinking, couldn't it always be like this? I pray to a woman in Piedras Negras, scrubbing stains while her sister helps out. Her friend comes over with her newborn. They talk about their husbands and drink cafecitos. Long skirts and white blouses. Yes, when I think of my ancestors' wildest dreams, I see a cross-dressing witch exiled from her small town, her walls stained with copal smoke. Why call on ancestors who want to condemn you if they really knew you? I want to find the loneliest person in my lineage and pray to them instead. I will erect a statue and leave them flowers, dress them in a short sleeve shirt buttoned all the way to the top. I will read them Stone Butch Blues and play Fiona Apple songs on my phone. I will kiss their feet and talk to them on shadowless days in the fall. I will keep coming until they answer back. Thank you. I'm gonna read two more. This was part of an anthology put together by Amanda Johnston, who is an incredible poet, if you don't know, from Austin, who runs Torch Literary. And the anthology was all about praising something, a person or an everyday thing that we encounter. And so this was inspired by the women on my side of town in San Antonio, the West Side, titled In Praise of West Side Women. I want to praise the women in front of me at the Valero on West Commerce. There's one with a Selena tattoo on her shoulder, paying $10 of gas on number 3, getting 2 bottles of Big Red because there's a 2-for-1 special. Her mom stands next to her, wearing a t-shirt from the 2018 Scorpions reunion tour. 2 rows of US cities run down her back. How many more women like these 2 will live their lives and leave in silence? What will be remembered of them? These women on the West Side, their jean shorts and their curly mullets, their black eyeliner and their gold teeth, driving their RAV4 from the 2000s on their way to see family in Poteet and Jordanton, listening to puro 80s hair metal all the way there and country music all the way back. Their shade of red they've worn for the last 2 decades and straightened hair with blonde highlights, working in admin at the elementary school for over 20 years. The ones with gardens of esperanzas and birds of paradise, whose retired husband waters every morning, always at the same time. The Gen X chola at HEB, in line with a basket full for her daughter's kids who've been staying with her. For the past 2 years, her grandson trails behind her in the frozen food aisle. The daughters, the mothers, the non-mothers, the tias, the cousins, the grandmothers, the photographs of the great-grandmothers on the dresser. I want to praise you for taking in your grandkids, for keeping in touch with the cousins 5 hours away, for taking care of your mother, for moving away despite the guilt, for being the first in your family to go to therapy. There are West Side women here that the world will never know, but can't you see them as clearly as I do? Can't you hold them in your heart for a little while? Thank you. I think if I had a museum, I would dedicate at least a whole building to the different types of Diaz and all of their mullet hairstyles and just tattooed eyebrows. That would be everything to me. It's all about archiving is political and what is preserved is political. And so something that really stuck out to me in this exhibit, in particular, the piece I chose was Palace in Passing, and she's over there next to the one that's on the wall, and it has that kind of patina color on it. And that one really called out to me, and also reading about Paul Klee as well. His art, was exhibited in the Degenerate Art exhibit in Berlin, which, the Nazis considered just everything kind of expressionist, as degenerate, right? And that I just kept on kind of returning to that idea of being a degenerate. So this poem is titled Degenerate. What a blessing it is to be labeled degenerate. My degenerate friends are semi-circle shaped. My degenerate friends embody the red and gray. My degenerate friends are painted, patinaed, torn apart by Texas, torn apart by the US, and torn apart by lovers too. They skip forward through time. My degenerate friends have no desire to build empires. My degenerate friends are full of sharp edges. My degenerate friends build worlds made out of gestures and glances full of potential. My degenerate friends self-deport, refusing to let the state separate their families further. My degenerate friends work full-time jobs and still manage to break generational cycles of addiction. My degenerate friends only find life bearable when they're in a crowd, finding desire in strangers' eyes and doing drugs in the shaded corners of the backyard. My degenerate friends shave their heads on a Thursday night. My degenerate friends love to watch long-haired wrestlers tear each other apart with barbed wire and tacks in open fields, malls, and stadiums. My degenerate friends have parents that live in denial, pretending not to notice their child's androgyny. My degenerate friends have to fight every urge to self-isolate in the forest. My degenerate friends write poems that they'll never share with anyone. My degenerate friends are just trying to make it through the day. My degenerate friends get on my nerves. My degenerate friends get tired of me too. But we're all we have, rejected, objectified, sitting alone at the party. We're all we have, trusting each other with unsavory thoughts. We're all we have. When the world falls apart, we're all we have. Thank you all so much for listening.
Thank you so much, Cloud. It was so wonderful. San Antonio's cool, so thank you so much for bringing that little piece here to Houston. Before I introduce our next reader, I definitely want to give some space to our wonderful partnership with Nuestra Palabra. They partnered with us last year, and just want to give a big warm welcome to Tony Diaz, our Nuestro Traficante. Tony, if you want to say a few words.
Thank you very much. You guys are a great audience. That was awesome. Great job. I came so that I can hear Klee and Picasso hear the words Gen X Chola. That's what's up, okay? And I want to pause just a little bit to remind you that this art is rejuvenating the movement on the wall that you pointed out, ostracized at one point. And I need to remind you of the movement that we're in, because these partners are coming together, and they have to. Why? So that we all can be fly on a Friday night, chilling out in a major museum, hearing our voices on our terms. And I don't want you to take that lightly, because I got to remind you that we as Libro Traficantes, we defied Arizona when they banned Mexican American studies, and we helped high school students overturn that law in 2012. We cannot now drive Libro Traficante caravans to every single state and city that's banning our history and culture. You need to know that the history you just shared is being expunged. The Mexican American Studies program, the Black Studies programs at UT, Texas A&M, the Mexican American Studies program at Our Lady of the Lake are gone and dismantled. Someone did remind me that Texas Southern University still has their Chicano professors. I need to tell you that Texas Southern University's law school, I know they have the most Latino students in Houston and Texas. I don't know if it's the whole country. What's my point? My point is that our culture did not die with the death of DEI, and you are the proof of that. And the teams assembled here. Yeiry, thank you so much for all the hard work you do to bring us together, to bring these young voices. This is gonna look dope as hell on your resume. We'll have a great story to tell tonight, but you are spreading all this language and word. Nuestra Palabra is happy to be overcoming barriers to literature and voices since 1998. Really love public poetry, respect all that you do and have done. Happy to have been a part of it early on, and we are brothers and sisters. If we don't see each other all the time, we are all in this together to further voices. I want to thank the Museum of Fine Arts Houston. They got a badass Latina, Mari Carmen Ramirez, who's a curator here and runs it, which is awesome. They got a awesome staff. We're proud that they're teaming up with us for our book fest on October 17th. It's the Houston Text Fest, so we look forward to having a lot of folks there. But I tell you all this so that you appreciate all the work that's happening in que no se desanimen. Do not get discouraged. Do not get scared. Do not stop fighting because it, like you said, they were called degenerate, banned. They were troublemakers, starving, and now they rise. Having said that, I'm so proud that in a little bit you're going to experience two of my students from Lone Star College. I'm so proud that I got to read some of their work early on in my classes. Daniela and Victor are fantastic writers and human beings. And I got to admit that I can no longer give them extra credit. So this is extra credit for life. And I really appreciate y'all being a great audience because you're firing them up and you fire us up. And together, we will keep winning. We're going to win, I don't know which day, but it's going to happen. So thank you so much for being here tonight. My pleasure.
Thank you so much, Tony. And on that note, happy to welcome one of these first students, Victor Gonzales. A little bit about Victor is he is an aspiring English teacher and hobbyist writer. A childhood enjoyment of comics, video games, and TV influenced his reach into creativity and storytelling. He often frequents museums and jumps at any opportunity to interact with the arts. Now he attends Lone Star College, earning his bachelor's in education, before later transferred to University of Houston for the completion of his bachelor's and beyond. Welcome, Victor, to the stage.
Hi. Hello. One second. Okay. So, hello, my name is Victor. Most of my arts experience, other than the hobby writing, is in theatrics. So, later, oh yeah, pouch. Ta-da! All my stuff is in here. So later, it's gonna get a little dramatic. I am gonna say that, but you have to be okay with that because this is my time. So my first piece is a piece that I'm sure a few people in this room are a little tired of hearing, because it started out as Mr. Tony Diaz, that guy right there. It was extra credit. So, sorry, one second. Well, I wasn't lying when I told you everything was in here. Okay, so this first piece, the context behind it, for those of you who haven't heard this like 3-4 times already, is one night I was shaving, and sometimes, as it does when you shave, you mess up and you got a little cut here or like and that reminded me unfortunately of my late father. He passed away only maybe a month before that, and I'm not much of a poet. I'm more of a spoken word type of person. That's why I'm speaking so much. And I channeled my grief in that moment of unfinished lessons from him into a poem. And I'm going to read that out right here. That wasn't supposed to happen. The poem is titled Small Mistakes. Last night, I trimmed my facial hair. It's no big deal. something I do every few weeks. I have no trimmer, so I use scissors. After the scissors, I have a razor to shave with. A razor that was never finished teaching me to use. I know enough, thanks to him, and I can figure out the rest. That goes for most things, as is life. I fluff the scruff and start snipping away. I'm stressed and impatient. It's late at night. I'm tired and worried. It's late at night. In my haste, I pay a little too much attention to the show I'm watching. I push the scissors a little too far up, and I cut my ear. Nothing serious, no big deal. I was reminded that this hadn't happened before, and that it would definitely happen in the future. A small mistake, nothing major. It didn't even bleed, but it's still there. Still a memory, still a lesson. I'm human. I make mistakes. Maybe I'm thinking about it too much. After all, it was late at night, and it really is no big deal. Thank you. So, that's really the only thing I have that's wholly unrelated to the artworks available at the exhibit here. Not in this room, they're in the other rooms. But what I did is I looked through and what really spoke to me, those pieces, I put them to page, and that's really just what I do. Again, I'm not much of a poet, so if something speaks to me, I write, and I write with fervor, and this is the part where it's going to get a little bit dramatic, so please bear with me. This one, Diaz, I said I wasn't going to do this, but I'm going to do it. I'm sorry. This one was inspired by I think it's literally the first piece that you see when you walk into the exhibit, Women Reading. To write, you inscribe the translation of mind into page. To read, we are to commune. When I touch the page, I am not present but for us, when standing attention as reader to this gift. Only my form to those observers, only my face to the page, my attention. I stare at each word to no end. I am enthralled in communion. My eyes only, this sight. My way into your mind. To page, to commune. Only observers, only attention. My sight, my mind. Now, a bonded understanding. Now, I wait until the next writing. You. Okay, this one is about still life with glass and newspaper. It's about how digging up the past and memories of things, events, how it can hurt to remember those things, but is ultimately important. Where were you? Where was I, a Nick? Where are you? Who are you? Who am I? A cut. December? August. Another. I was never good at dates. Why Saturday? A cut. When did it get that bad? I should get a bandage. A nick. I need to know why he did it. Another. It wasn't fair. Another. He didn't need to. Another. Why? Again. Why? Again. Why? Again. That's why. All right. I need a bandage. Thank you. Okay. So I forgot to put it in my bio as an introduction, but I was a musician, I knew how to play 4 instruments: the tuba, trombone, trumpet, and baritone. And music is very important to me, as I view writing as a window into the mind, near pure, and music is a translation of the soul, because we don't need to understand the same language to get each other through music. So I think music is very powerful. And seeing for the first time the still life of a piano in the other room, it spoke to me so much that I needed to write this there and then. My pencil ran out of lead, and then my pen stopped working, and then the marker didn't work, so I had to ask one of the staff here for a pen. Thank you so much. And it's in red because he only had a red pen, which I think works way better. A solo, a chord, a rush. We drag. My fingers burn. My heart does, in fervor of fire, to compete with an inferno. We are but in the pit, we are but on stage, we are but in the background. In light, in dark, on time, early, late, perfect, crescendo, all falls still. Souls laid bare. Listen, hold it. There is music in the air. Thank you.
Ooh. I wish I was that tall. Thank you, Victor, for that amazing presentation. Next up, we have another student, Daniela Paz. Daniela Paz is currently at Lone Star College studying for an Associate of Arts in Teaching. In the past year, she was urged by her mentor, Tony Diaz, to join Nuestra Palabra due to her unique writing style. Although she's new to poetry, she is excited to learn and work alongside her peers. Nice, warm welcome to Daniela.
Hi everyone. So I'm Daniela, and I just want to say thank you to everyone being here. Thank you for having me, and thank you for listening. I'm going to say that at the end too. Okay. So a thing about my poems is that I really like to explain them afterwards so nobody misinterprets what I say, but the last one is going to be up to your interpretation because I felt like it. Okay. The piece Above and Below by Klee reminded me of this poem I had written. The painting to me looked like a bunch of facial characters bunched up together, like they didn't fit. And this is called What Am I? I did my nails. I straightened my hair. I shaved my arms and my legs. I did my makeup. I do this to please you. I want nothing more than to look good for you, to be on your arm and look perfect, for others to be jealous of how put together I am. Do you like my nails? Did you notice how silky my hair is? Did you notice how smooth I am? Do you like my new lip gloss? I put my back through agony as I do my own nails, twisting and turning in ways I shouldn't have to, but I need to. I can't have bare nails. It's unladylike. I damage my hair further and further, causing for my hair to fall out, for my arms to give out from exhaustion of passing the flat iron multiple times over a single section. My hair smells of smoke, but I need to do this. I can't have messy hair. Hair completes the look. Without straight hair, I'd look unkempt. I waste water to shave my arms and my legs. This is an absolute need. No woman should have leg hair or arm hair. It's not natural. Sure, it grows on your body, but that isn't normal. If you let it grow out, you'll look dirty. I spend money on makeup that doesn't suit my skin. I start to break out, but it's okay. Makeup is supposed to hide the discoloration and acne underneath. It's needed to make me prettier. I deal with all this to please you, to look good for you, to be perfect, to be put together. Because everything that comes with me naturally isn't natural. It's something disgusting that should be hidden, something that should never be shown or talked about. I hide under this disguise until I forget what I am. I hide under this disguise until I forget that I have a voice. I hide under this disguise until I forget that I have a mind. Everything that was original about me is now gone because my value is determined by my looks. Looks that are judged and rated before I speak, before I can tell you what I like to do. I like to read, I like to learn, I like to listen to music, and I like to play video games. But none of that matters. You shouldn't know any of that, because a woman should not speak unless given permission. Something that society would be able to shove down my throat if it was open in the first place. Instead, it goes in through my ears and into my brain. I am nothing but my looks to you, and I will be what you want me to be. Thank you. So I wrote this poem because I have been going through a kind of hard time in my life where I'm starting to think and question everything that a woman does. We paint our nails for what we think is our own gratification, but why? Why do we feel the need to paint our nails, to look put together? Who made us feel that we don't look put together with our natural nails? So I had decided to go a few weeks without painting my nails to see if I truly enjoyed it or if I felt like I needed it. Part of me feels that I don't care if they're painted or not. The other half is screaming on the inside that I'm not fully done getting ready. Society has gotten into me and my brain and has twisted something natural and turned it into something fake. We feel the need to shave our legs because we think it looks better, cleaner. But who determined that? Something that is natural is now something you can laser, wax, shave, lotion, etc. off of your body. Our natural face is getting lost in hundreds of dollars being spent so we can all look the same. Spending money to damage our hair so it all lays flat. I don't believe that women need any of this. Of course, you can love to paint your nails, do your makeup, have fun with your hair, but I suggest you reach deep down into your brain and soul and think, do I do this for me or society? Do I do this because I love it or because I feel like I need it? What are you? Okay. This next poem is based off of Sealed Lady by Klee, and it is called The Man. Will I ever be successful like the man next to me? Will I ever be taken as seriously as the man next to me? Will I ever be heard like the man next to me? I am tired of repeating myself, being spoken over, because the man next to me cannot wait his turn, because he believes that what he has to say is worth more than I ever will be. Will I ever walk around with no worry like the man next to me? Will I ever be able to dress whichever way I want like the man next to me? Will I ever live freely like the man next to me? Be silent because the man next to me feels threatened of my words. Be beautiful because the man next to me will not see me as a human unless I'm attractive. Be afraid of what the man next to me is capable of doing. Will the world ever benefit me like it does for the man next to me? Will other men protect me from the man next to me? Will I ever be free from the man next to me? Thank you. So when I first saw The Sealed Lady by Paul Klee, it just made me think about how could I ever compete or win in a world that was made for men. Like, women weren't ever meant to be on this planet. And I could talk about how we are the ones who bring life. We're mothers, we're sisters, we're daughters, but that doesn't mean anything. We are women, we are people, yet we are taken advantage of in every way possible. And some still believe that we have it easier. We have to work twice as hard to get what we want. And if you make it to the top, your authority will always be questioned because you're a woman. Thank you. So this is my last piece, and it's based off of Interior by Henry Matisse. It's a woman laying in bed, curled up with her blanket, and I have been this woman many, many, many times before, and it is called Laying in Bed. I have spent days laying in bed. I cannot find the power to get up, not even a spark. Am I even looking? Was I ever looking? I can feel the want to get up inside me, a craving to move. But is it real? Is this something that I really want to do? Why would I ever want to get up from here? I'm comfortable with where I am. I don't need to move on. I don't ever need to get up. But if I'm comfortable with this decision, then why am I questioning it? Is to be at peace to not question? Aren't you meant to question everything? When do you know to stop asking questions? It doesn't matter. I'm not getting up anyway. I know it. We all do. I'll lay here, question myself, my surroundings, the people around me, and do nothing. It's what I always do. I'd rather lay here than have to get up and answer the questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniela, for your piece. Can y'all believe we already reached our final reader tonight? I know, it went by entirely too fast. But it gives me great pleasure to welcome our final reader for this evening. Aris Kian Brown is a Houston enthusiast and student of abolition. Her work centers the landscape and emotional political climate of her home city. She previously served as a Houston Poet Laureate 2023-2025 and ranked #2 in the 2023 Wimix of the World Poetry Slam. As an Imprint C. Glenn Camber Fellow, she received her MFA from the University of Houston. Give a big warm shout out to Aris Kian Brown.
All right, y'all, I'm not gonna hold y'all hostage. So I have 3 poems for y'all, 2 short ones, and the second one is a 2-part longer poem. So if you're still with me, can you say spit poet? Beautiful, don't mind if I do. This poem is inspired by the Picasso exhibition section. The paintings Ma Jolie, Still Life with Blue Guitar, piano, glass, bouquet, guitar, and bottle. I was really intrigued by being amidst all of these paintings that had musical instruments in them. And I was also really baffled at the fact that there was nobody playing them. So I wrote a poem thinking about that. Chekhov's gun implies a shot fired, don't it? Says, don't tease me with a sharp hand and a barrel full of bullets. Don't promise a hole nowhere you won't patch it after, but an entry wound there must be. Blood pumping and a boundary crossed. A blinking target and a daughter eyeing her way out. Someone's gotta get trigger happy sometime, some way soon. Otherwise, this room ain't nothing but a broom closet, collecting dust with no one to sweep it. I don't believe in a life made still. What busted luck, what bold-faced lie, to paint that strumming thing on every surface with no one there to pluck it. I am a tough crowd. Tomato, tomato. Show me the greedy fingers and wide mouth, the scrunched eye of a clashing chord. You can keep the wine rim untouched by a drunken tongue. I want the glass knocked over, cracked next to the kick drum. I want the pick between the lips and the bass line thumping like a beating heart. I want my breath in my throat. Believe me, there's more than scattered light and ocean tides to what the blues can do. I want the shimmer showing, the cartoon whoomp whoomp of vibration shaking me into movement. I want the groove in my body. You can't just keep it on the sofa, slung across the table. You can't sheet music me into thinking these sounds mean anything without someone shredding. I won't take it no-how, not since I left my own acoustic in the corner of my room, untouched, since I was last moved by a song I couldn't reach the top notes of. I shunned the silence I gave to myself. Tired of the hush that spills across my bedroom, that rotting timber, wind-sick instrument ain't seen the lamp of the living since I stopped clearing my throat. I don't want to know what the gun and the guitar have to tell me about losing something. I just want it going off, alive and smoking in anyone's hands. Thank you, thank you. This one was based off of the Georges Braque's piece called Still Life with Glass and Newspaper. I think there was another poet who wrote after this one as well. And I was really intrigued by this oval-shaped piece that really thinks about the perspectives of an object. If you listen to the audio exhibition of this piece, it talks about the painters want their inspiration to explode and reassemble a very mundane sort of object, seeing them from multiple angles at once, kind of like a game of hide and seek. There were objects on the surface of the table, so I was really interested in that sort of sense of play, but also in that sense of continuous perspectives. At dusk, I am laced with the day's every hour. Ornate, this horror hidden behind the time zone and rusted border. We've made beautiful this fracturing. This myth that I'm splintered from my sister singing hymns from beneath a raised city. I hear it before the paper lands on my porch, before the news cuts to clips of crumbling buildings. All we break has broken me, both bark and book, pulp and paper. I am not safe from headline or headstone. No different from the spilling ink in bombed libraries. I wear the same sun you do, hated for how it drapes me. I take the day in at the end of it, mourning for some others, mourning persisting, despite the insistence to forget it, burying your brothers beneath the piling bills and advertisements, behind policy wars and slaughter they call wars. I almost missed a father taken from a town they say is too far. Almost missed the singe from the wildfire, the crushed lung of an earthquake. I forget how touch-starved we are for the people whose faces we'll never kiss, whose shoulders we can't graze in crowded train cars, whose honks we don't hear, but how certain I am of the salt and oil on their bread plate, the way a bounce beat moves through their body, the nicked shin and shaving cream, their swear and smirk, the crow's feet and smile line. I do not know a minute I haven't lived in. I have not been only myself for years. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I will end with this poem that I think is really in conversation with the landscape in blue behind us. I feel like people, I have a lot of love for this city. I have a lot of hate for this city, but I have a lot of love for this city. I had this person on my Instagram, because I posted about how much I love the city, and they came to visit, and they were like, Houston is actually the ugliest city I've ever seen. It's like 3 chevrons and a trench coat. And I was like, you're not wrong, but wait, give it a second, it's beautiful. And I wrote this poem titled Exit Interview, which is a love/hate letter to Houston. We don't talk enough about the sidewalks in this city. What blocks and black tops blister the bottoms of our feet on the way to the bus stop or side street. Even freeways aren't free of a pothole or two. We've gotten used to rougher roads, to popped tires and aching heels. My mom left Houston with a heartache the size of I-10. Says here, suffering finds you quick. Like disasters got directions straight to the bottoms of our shoes. She won't step in her hometown without keeping one foot out. We don't talk about the souls this city breaks, the weight on our ankles, the day-to-day of this living that cost us our lives. I've tried to hide the scars these streets have carved into me. I don't talk about which cop or car or fist I've had to dodge just to make the journey back. How often I've been too black, too broke, too woman, too young to be comfortable walking downtown alone. We don't talk about the loneliness of a city that separates us by concrete, that piles asphalt on top of families, churches, chokes the breath of school kids and calls it improvement. No, we just take the drive home. Try to ignore the tents in the underpass. Don't ask what meals they missed, how many evictions were on the docket today, which way to the cheapest doctor. We don't talk about the bayou of our bodies, how we can only hold so much water before we burst. Once, a neighbor in the Northeast praise danced during an August drought. She said, "Thank God for the dry spell, because every time it rains, I rip up carpet." Some houses still wear the wrath of Harvey on their roofs, still see the bones of their living rooms awaiting drywall and a phone call from the state. We don't talk about the state of our people that exit one tragedy just to feed into the next. Everyone I know in Houston has found a reason to leave and still holds dear a dozen reasons to stay. I don't say I love this city enough. Don't talk about what it costs to care too much, to ask for more, to pour into a neighborhood that promises to be here decades after. Can you imagine the sidewalks knowing you well, the wealth of generations rooted in a soil that knows your grandmother's name? To know that what used to be can still be without sacrificing a future that holds all of us in it, that welcomes you in your father's tongue, that rubs your mother's feet, for walkways to reach the corners I couldn't touch, neighbors I wish to know. Give me roads paved with tree-lined possibilities and a couple of park benches. Give me green with pathways to fresh water and fields, begging to be frolicked. Give me friends who found their way to this neighborhood, who share the language of laughter and line dances, spices and soap operas, loteria and lumpia, DJ Candlestick and Cavalli. Good God, give us reasons to keep calling Houston home. Thank you so much. My name is Aris Kian.
What a beautiful way to end tonight's session and our series this summer. Thank y'all so much. Give yourself a round of applause. Amazing, beautiful audience. So I am so pleased of just everything, the series, these collaborations, these partnerships, your support as well. Like I said, the series today is our final session, but there's plenty more programming coming up in the fall. And please give all your praise to the writers and our presenters tonight. The museum closes until 9, so feel free to roam around and see our other exhibitions, and have a wonderful evening. Thank y'all.